Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Uh, it's a sort of pretty day on a very cold week, and January here. I personally like it 70 and above, but this is winter and it's Colorado, and we have some sun today. And today we're talking to Taj Cook, who I met at a Thanksgiving when he was doing a huge charity event making meals, and he wanted to share part of his story and what he does and how it might involve you. I thought it was interesting. I think it's fascinating. Good morning, Taj. How are you today?
Good morning, Gabby. I'm doing well. It's a pleasure to be here with you, a
Oh, wait,
legend like yourself.
not
Uh,
exactly.
thank you so much for having me, Don. Thank
Legends are gone. Anyway, I'm here. Okay. I met you on a rather cool Thanksgiving morning when I came with John Hinman, the pie guy, to help prepare. You tell me how many meals, what you do, and about you. I'm leaving this show up to you. Tell me about you.
Well, as long as I get director's credit, I'm pretty much good. So good. But no, it's an honor to be here, first of all. But Thanksgiving, it was a pleasure to have you come through and support us, help us to feed our community. We were able to push out 12,874 meals this last Thanksgiving. And that was across four different locations. That's all I could say. You came to the CCIC location, which is the Cherry Creek Innovative Campus.
It's
Uh,
gorgeous.
it's beautiful, beautiful
Wow.
campus. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
when we first was introduced to them a couple years back, um, I couldn't believe what these students were doing, what these teachers were doing, and when they reached out to us to find us a way to be involved, and we were able to get on the board for the culinary side. And honestly, these students helped us out a lot this past Thanksgiving. They really worked hard. They cooked a
They
majority of
were
the
incredible.
proteins. Yes, ma'am. You saw the work firsthand. And thank you for coming in to also, slap the whip a little bit to kind of
Yeah.
get the word
Give
out.
an
So
opinion or two. Is it a cooking school out there or a
Uh,
regular?
well, it's a combination. The CCIC, it's a combination of a culinary institute. They have a 15-ton crane inside of their construction classes where they've built, I want to say, almost over 20 tiny homes so far since they've
Oh,
started. Yes, and donated it to individuals across the city. They have a aerospace program or aerotech program where they build plane parts, learn how to build planes, fix planes as well. And they work directly with DIA. It's one of the few schools throughout the states that actually do so. So they actually do some really good work. They teach individuals to be uh, physicians. They have a pharmacy class inside of where they teach students how to make medication as well to become some of the next best pharmacists that we need. So for me, it's a hell of a school, and to see the work that they're doing, I'm excited, honored to be a part of it in some minute way.
it was an incredible.
Yes, ma'am. But no, we did 12,874 meals, a combination of over 75,000 meals within the last 6 years just on Thanksgiving. And it's as long as I
You
always say,
know,
as long as we're in Colorado, the work will continue.
okay, and people, you get the food donated and such, and
Yes,
then
ma'am.
you have volunteer. I mean, you had staff,
Oh,
people coming.
we had over 600 volunteers that were utilized this year for Thanksgiving. We had over 1,000 volunteers sign up to be a part of this year's Thanksgiving. And we have to say a major thank you to our partners over at US Foods. The US Foods donated almost $40,000 worth of food alone. You're talking turkey, chicken, pork shoulders, including dairy products, cheese, pasta, items that we needed for the sides. We worked heavily with Miller Farms down there in Platteville. Miller Farms have been around since 1949. Um, and between Joe, Melissa Miller, everyone, honestly, the whole entire family, they've been giving us potatoes, squashes, tomatoes, onions,
Good for all
everything
those
we've
people.
needed. that we need to make Thanksgiving Thanksgiving. So
Okay,
yeah.
well, I will ask later how one volunteers for all this.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
you do this, and that's your Thanksgiving project.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I know you do a lot the rest of the year. But tell me about you and what
Oh, well, it's my last name is Cook, Cooke. I can't help it. This is the field that I'm in. I studied psychology for a brief period of time, and it wasn't for me. The culinary world speaks to me a lot better. But between working with numerous restaurants across the metro area. Currently, we have a restaurant named Teely's. Teely's Tea House and Bookstore that is located off of 22nd Avenue downtown. They've been around for quite some time. The owner's name is Reese Jones. We're working with them currently to change over their menu and to, I guess you would say, try to get the attention of a different crowd. Foot traffic, try to help them a little bit.
22nd and what?
22nd and I want to say oh God, Park
That's-
right down there in that area, to be quite honest with you.
Okay.
Yes. I'll pull up this cross street for you. My
No, I was just curious because I don't know it. And
No, Tea
you
Leaves
do,
Tea House and Bookstore, they've been around for quite some time. It was a husband and wife team that started it. So they're off of 22nd and Park, or you can even say 22nd and Champa,
I
right
know
between
exactly.
California. Exactly, right in that area. But it was a husband and wife team that started it. The husband passed, unfortunately, and Reese Jones now is the owner, and she's doing beautiful work. She just need a little bit of help. So we're gonna go in and make some beautiful noise. But other than that, what we do throughout the year, Gabby,
We
is
use your wife Danielle and yourself, I assume.
yes, my wife and myself, and we have a small team. I have two sous chefs, Chef Miranda Nicely, and we also have Chef Ryan McNeil.
Okay.
Both of them accompany us, and then we also have some younger individuals that work with us. We have Chef Dayanara, who's a student that is within the Pro Star program. We always find it important to work with these kids. They're amazing. They're challenging, but
The Pro Star kids were fabulous.
right? Seriously. But with that being said, Gabby, my goal honestly is after being in this business for so many years, I'm trying to tell the story of the chefs within it, tell the story of the region that we're working with, and really just have fun with food. I come from Jamaica. In Jamaica, we have a saying, out of many, we're one. So forgive me. I love mingling and being in the kitchen with our fellow chefs. Um, that's the genuine truth. Now, this series, we're gonna do a winter dinner series. We're gonna go up to Sweet Basil, hang out with Paul. We're gonna do some dinners down here with Vibes Concept, which is T Street. T Street has a location off of South Teller in Lakewood. They have restaurants from here all the way up to Breckenridge. We're also gonna do a summer dinner series. That part, the details are to come. The summer dinner series is going to be in partnership with Elevation Reps as well as with Rockalitas Tortilla. You're talking Richard Schneider over there. Yes, ma'am. The whole goal of that is to try to raise some funds for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And basically try to see if we can make Thanksgiving even better this year. So
I
yeah.
don't know how it could be better, but okay. Uh, so technically, yeah, you bring all these people together.
Yes, ma'am.
Your events, these pop-ups,
Yes, ma'am.
are obviously they have to clear and make some money, but some part of this goes to
Yes.
a charity or your events.
Yes, ma'am. So with the winter dinner series, we're going to donate 10% of every dinner to a charity of the chef's choice that we're visiting. So, for example, we're going to go up to Chef Paul up at Sweet Basil. He will have his own charity. Right now, they're working out the finer details on what charity that they're going to donate their proceeds to, as well as Chef James down here with T Street. And also, we have Biker Jim as well. So, you have Biker Jim that we're gonna partner up and do a dinner with as well, and he's gonna have his own charity. But for me, the way I look at it, Gabby, is that we obviously all of us we have our bills to pay, we have etc. But I believe that we can't just take, we have to give. Forgive
I
me. I believe,
completely agree.
it's extremely important. So by giving back in some form of fashion, we help each other. We genuinely help each other to whether pass a message along to someone else who may not have known the work that this organization was doing, or even just helping them to raise some funds.
What is the name of your organization?
So my company's name is Miss Betty's Cooking.
Oh,
Miss Betty's Cooking is named after my grandmother. Um,
MS.
MS, yes, MSBETTY apostrophe S Cooking, Miss Betty's Cooking. I just,
Take
as a,
away
I
the
believe,
apostrophe if you're going to look for the web page.
oh, without the apostrophe, if you're looking for the webpage,
Yeah.
correct. Miss Betty's Cooking. But I just believe that if you don't know where you're coming from, you'll forever be lost. You never know where you're going. So these are old sayings that I used to hear from my grandparents. So it's kind of beaten into me now. But I believe in them. I believe that it's my connection to my grandmother. This woman was a midwife in Kingston, Jamaica. She raised her kids. They went off to America. They helped her and my grandfather to build a home. And that's the way the Cooks family's name has been about. So it's through hard work, dedication,
And you
honestly.
sit on more boards than even I ever thought about.
I'm still trying to control that.
Now,
But
you're
it's
doing a very poor job.
my wife and you have an inside joke
Well,
apparently
I'm
that
just
we
looking
find
at
out
things
about.
here and I wouldn't even know where to begin.
It's one of those situations where I love what I do, and don't get me wrong, we are all stretched a little thin most of the time, right? But I feel as though if I have the time, I'll try. If I can't, I'll read over the notes, but I will get the job done. I'm always trying to, I if I just try. That's really about it. So whether it's with CCIC sitting on that board, CRF,
You
um,
have to tell people forget, tell them
yeah,
the names.
yeah,
And when they give you initials, you don't know what they're talking about.
yes, ma'am.
So you're talking about Colorado Restaurant
Yes,
Association.
ma'am. So the Colorado Restaurant Association sitting on that as a director. You have the Cherry Creek Innovative Campus that we sit on there as an advisor. We recently started working with I believe oh God, forgive me. We work heavily with Work Options, which is now used to be called Work Options for Women.
That's
Um,
what
Yes,
else.
ma'am. We worked heavily with the Emily Griffith Quick Start Culinary Program as well. We just jumped on to Pi Day for LA as well. This
You
is
got me there too. So
yes, ma'am. So it's one of
not
those
sure what
things. Well, when
we're
John
not sure
called
what
me,
we're gonna do, but that to somebody who is watching right now,
yes,
uh,
ma'am.
some people from Washington, D.C., John Hinman from Denver, and there are people right now from trying to raise money for pie places and bakeries who
Yes,
have
ma'am.
lost their stuff in the fires. Okay, it's
Well,
another show for another day.
I know, but it's for me, that's even an organization that recently popped up, and when John called, we couldn't say no.
Well,
You know,
that's a 12-day old organization.
It is, but the work that's going to come from that, and even the hopes, I think it's going to be a good impact. But it's more of trying to figure things out. We work heavily with what I'm looking down because it's a lot. We work with the
Please,
Colorado Coalition, the Volunteers of America, work with Urban Peak, the Salvation Army. Um, I'm also a chef of World Central Kitchen. It's
yeah,
Yes, yeah, the whole goal for me, it's if I'm able to do it, I'll get the job done or I'll try my best to. That's really about it.
you've done a great job. So, just on another subject, you're incredible with all the work you do for everyone. Uh,
Mhm.
how bringing home the bacon, you do some catering.
We do. On the side to find a way to make profit to actually contribute to the household bills that we have.
It's like one
Uh,
has.
we all have it, right? No one lives for free. The
Well,
catering side, it's where it kind of comes in play, Gabby, as well as the consultation side there. The thing is this, there are restaurants out there and restaurant owners right now that are struggling, that are trying to figure out a way to navigate these waters. And we have more restaurants that are closing than ever before coming out of 2020. So,
absolutely.
and some of them are some of our friends that we know very dearly.
Right? Good friends, right?
Exactly. So right there, Gabby, it's if we can go in, I've been in this business now going on 20 years. Um, I'm not the best of everything, let's make that clear, but I do know something. And the fact of the matter is that if we can use some of the knowledge that we have as the resources that we have to assist these individuals to keep their business and keep a successful restaurant within the community going, um, I think it's a different way. And honestly, it helps me to spend time with my wife. It gives me time at home rather than being in the kitchen all the time. But I do miss the kitchen, so that's why we do these pop-ups. We do the caterings. The catering side is where we're available. We do weddings, we do birthdays, it depends on the party. We do anywhere from if it's an intimate party of four or two up to a party of 100. It does not
Oh,
matter.
good for you.
We have the capabilities of doing that. Um, we, I am looking into doing some festivals this year as well, which I have some friends over at Bonnaroo and a lot of reggae festivals. My dad used to be a tour manager for musicians back in the day. Um, and I used to be a chef for some of these musicians. I used to travel on these tour buses and set up a 10 by 10 tent in every single state that we are in and just sling food towards the band and the individuals that are there all day. So I've kind of missed that itch a little bit, if but it's just honestly, I'm trying to find different ways. We're also building a bed and breakfast back home in Jamaica as well as we speak. Um,
Room for
so,
two.
oh, darling, it's the house is done. The rooms are there. We're actually getting it furnished right now. So
But
please, more than welcome. It's in Aracabessa, which is
I've never,
on Arakabessa, it's where Ian Fleming's, the writer of all the 007 books, he wrote all of the James Bond books. They even named a beach over there called James Bond Beach in Arakabessa off of them. Dr. No, part of the movie in Dr. No where they came up
for
on
you.
the beach, that's that same beach that is called James Bond Beach within my community. You can walk
Wow.
right down to that beach every day. Um, but no, we're building a little B&B, something that we can go back to. It's on a good lot of farm. We grow carrots and tomatoes and chilies and callaloo, which is a cross between kale and spinach. It's within the amaranth family. But right now it's just trying to find different ways, Gabby. I think after my mom passed a couple years ago, my focus within this business of ours, this restaurant business, it changed. It changed. I wanted to spend more time with my family a little
Good
bit.
for you.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
now for people I to know if they
Yeah,
want to join or if they want to find you for catering and all of that. It's
yes.
Miss Betty's Kitchen.
So right now our website it's under construction, but it is missbettyscooking.com. It's MSBETTYS cooking, all one word, all together.
ING or cooking.
Cooking, ING.
Okay,
ING. But you can also reach out to us on all of our social media platforms as well. You have our Instagrams, you have Miss Betty's grandson, which is on Instagram. You have my personal Instagram. You also have any form of our platforms on social media. Um, there's are numerous ways to reach out to us.
okay.
But yes, yes,
Now,
ma'am. Between that, our catering right now, as long as the dates are open, we will definitely get it done. So yeah.
okay, now back to Thanksgiving for a minute. I
Yes,
mean, I
ma'am.
don't know where I'm signed up, but I'm certainly going again.
I appreciate it.
I do want to tell this audience who might be watching the, I don't know, I had 8 million volunteers around me that we
Wow.
were working with. I don't know, there were zillion. And it was one was from a very high end investment. Somebody was a kid
Hmm.
who's in Pro Start. I mean, every person,
Well,
every
everyone is
village.
welcome. It's our community.
I was shocked as
Yes, ma'am.
to where so many people found out. So how does one, because you can come during the night, you can come during the
Yeah.
day, but, and you directed everybody and gave them a job, and we did our job because I was,
It's it's they call it a organized chaos.
well, of
That's
course,
really what it is.
yeah, but it
But
worked.
it does. We honestly we call on all of our neighbors. So we call on all the magazine outlets, the news outlets to help us to get the word out there. So whether
How does one
it's
sign up there?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
How does one sign up to be part of that?
Oh no. So with Thanksgiving, we normally have our website up and running with all the information on Thanksgiving, the locations. You'll have a volunteer form. We'll have meal request form. If you want to request a meal for yourself, you can request a meal. We have delivery drivers that will come and drop it off for you and literally be a fly on the wall, drop it off and leave. We want individuals to feel very comfortable because there's one thing that we've realized is that there's a lot of pride across this world, and individuals are afraid to ask for help.
That's
So we don't want anyone to feel any form of way. So you can literally request a meal and we'll come and drop it off and leave. We don't want you to do anything. Um, but when Thanksgiving do come around, we will have our website up and running. We will have a sign up log there for people to just sign up and volunteer their services. We start cooking. The tradition of Thanksgiving is that we start cooking the night before Thanksgiving, where we take over all of these locations and we cook from 10 p.m. the night before Thanksgiving. They have everything from 4 to 6 hour slots. So we have individuals coming in at 10 p.m., 2 a.m., 4 a.m.,
I
6
met
a.m.
several. Yes.
Oh yeah, it's a long night, Gabby. But the one thing is that we let everyone know is that this is not a job. We're not asking you to come in and work an 8 hour shift. We're just asking you to donate some time towards the community. That's it. And there's a lot of joy. We want people to feel comfortable. It's a lot of love. We've had volunteers now coming back for 6 years in a row. We have volunteers now coming in for 3, 4 years in a row.
Well, I'll be back.
Thank you.
I started late. I didn't know.
You did amazing, and
Okay.
you cracked the whip when needed.
I,
Honestly, we needed those turkey cutters to get done. So thank you.
the
Yes,
queen of sending it back.
you did amazing. But no,
And,
Gabby, it's honestly it's a community's effort when it comes to Thanksgiving, and I
and
make that very clear. It's
okay.
if it was just Danielle and myself, we cannot do it on our own. So it's obvious, right? So the fact of the matter is, even Stillman Meat, you have Stillman Meat down there, Nick, the owner, where Justin Brunson connected me with Nick, I want to say probably 4 years ago.
Right.
4 years ago, I reached out to Justin. I'm like, Justin, I need some meat for Thanksgiving. Can you help me? And we all know that Justin is the meat man around town. We all know. Justin connected me with Nick, and the rest is history. That first year in Stillman Meat gave us 4 halves of a pig, which is 2 whole pigs. First year, without asking any questions. Every year so far, we've received pork butts and turkeys and chickens. So the only thing I can say is genuinely thank you because it's we wouldn't be able to do it without them and all of our volunteers, including yourself.
Well,
It's just a
I,
crazy idea that came from a crazy man. That's all
well,
that.
that's how the world does its best things.
Yes, ma'am.
Personally, I'm just going to take a minute and say thank you to you and Danielle, Taj and Danielle Cook. You are just listening to you is inspiring. You show the love that you feel and that you give. It's a big guy, and he wraps his arms around a little me, and it's very touching.
It's
And
love.
you do, and back. And what you do is awesome.
Thank
And
you.
I
Thank
totally support it.
you.
Closer to Thanksgiving, maybe we'll jump on again and ask people to volunteer again.
Thank
And
you.
I'll see you working on the other. But to everybody watching today, please like and subscribe to the Gabb with 2 B's / Gabby Gourmet on
Please.
YouTube where you'll see this. I am just Gabby Gourmet on Facebook and on Instagram. You'll see this there. And I personally want to thank you for taking the time to share your story with me and an audience and to say thank you. It's
Mm.
people like you to me who make the world a better place, and much love. Thank you.
You're trying to make me emotional, Dawn.
Well, I'm
I
gonna let you go before either of us get emotional and
yes, ma'am.
say, have a wonderful day. You are a very special person.
Mm.
And obviously, we're working on a few other things together, which we weren't when we made
Yes,
this.
yes. Different
But
ways to get back. Thank you.
thank you. And
Yes, ma'am.
go playoffs. That'll amuse everybody in the snowstorm and
Thank you,
send me
Dawn.
food. All right. Much love. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Jenny. Have a
Bye.
good